And a good Thursday afternoon, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook video is driven by 802cars.com. It represents 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Can't miss the big, large gyre that is spinning away over Minnesota. It's producing predominantly snowfall, as you can see here, and of course over portions of places like the Upper Dakotas and into parts of adjacent Canada. They have near blizzard-like conditions with very strong winds and plenty of snow, 18 inches in some locations in western portions of North Dakota. This is a spring storm that is very wound up, very powerful. For us, we have a ridge of higher pressures. You can see that's rolling through. It's advancing, and as it does so, it's also pushing in some warmer temperatures, and they're sort of colliding and having to deal with a little bit of this advancing warm front pushing on out. But clouds are giving way to some periods of sunshine, and we're going to see that set up before this band of showers works on through. It'll develop some thunderstorms across eastern portions of New York, and these will slide into western parts of Vermont, generally probably missing out on the northern sections of Vermont, northeast Kingdom, north central Vermont, but sliding into southern portions of the state and affecting mainly our southern four counties and, of course, points south. And that's where severe weather could be setting up based on the latest indications, mostly south of the Massachusetts line. One or two could be locally strong right on the Bennington-Windham County line, however, and anything that crosses in from New York will probably be sort of winding down as it does begin to move into the state of Vermont. A lot to talk about. Let's get to some of the looks here. First of all, the way the temperatures are set up here, we have this warmer air working on in and slightly higher dew point temperatures, and those higher dew point temperatures are sort of interacting and setting up what could be a stretch of severe weather later on today. In terms of wind gusts, you can see how well wound up this storm system is with the counterclockwise flow, and some of that, of course, greater than 40 knots showing gust here, pushing in across some areas. That will not be a big deal for us, however, but it looks like on Friday we could see marginally strong wind gusts, tippy tops of our northern Green Mountains and adjacent to the eastern slopes. It's a very marginal event, probably not anticipating any utility impacts. The main impact will be a nor'easter. That happens very, very late in the period. Let's take a look at the latest computer modeling. Okay, with the two charts, we have the European on the left-hand side and the GFS ensemble on the right-hand side. You can see the well-wound-up area of low pressure, 989. The analysis for the GFS is a little bit higher, 991. Both are in pretty good agreement. Running the model, this is that was valid at about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and we can see more rain begin to move into the region right here. And this is going to be kind of associated with some embedded thunderstorm activity. That moves in, and then it moves out this evening by 06Z. The 6-hourly total precipitation will start to work on out. It should start to dry out and spread basically a clearing sky with a lot of fog during the overnight period, and what will be a good project weather day on Friday. So this is valid at about 8 o'clock on Friday morning, and then continuing, this is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. And there is some indications there could be just a couple sprinkles trying to push in at that point in time, fairly late in the day tomorrow. And also, again, a little bit of a stronger wind gust across mostly the St. Lawrence Valley. We could see winds over 50 miles per hour in some locations there. National Weather Service has got a wind advisory on that. And also maybe just the tippy tops of the northern greens. However, most of the strongest winds are going to be definitely across portions of New York. Pushing that along here, we have this sort of frontal boundary that's going to string along here, and it's actually cold enough that it could even produce a little bit of wet snow. This is valid Saturday morning, and you can see there's some snow involved here. The GFS, of course, broader scale, but you can see what goes on here. This is valid late in the day on Saturday, and it's a little bit of wet snow in the elevated terrain, likely on valley floors, kind of a mixed rain snow kind of event. We're back into a little bit of winter, folks. And that happens over the coming weekend here. And then this trough of lower pressure will then push on through that main organized weather system. That surface low tracks out of the region. And we see just some widely scattered, probably some snow showers or flurries, mixed with a little bit of rain on the valley floors during the warmer part of the daytime on Sunday. Notice it's a little bit blustery as well. Doesn't look like we're going to see strong winds associated with that. That's good news. But high pressure then builds in basically for the a period on Monday. It looks like a pretty good day, good project weather day. And this is our nor'easter sort of in development. Coastal area of low pressure will develop somewhere in the vicinity of the Carolinas and then track up the coast. It looks like it's going to take a fairly close path. It will be pulling some easterly winds across the southernmost Green Mountains. It's really tentative, but we could also see some wet snow loading, not loading, but wet snow in the hills and elevated terrain. This is an April storm, so it's a kind of a short impact kind of deal. That area of low pressure then tracks through or kind of along the coast, cutting across a little bit of the Massachusetts area, and then pulls away. And this all takes place during the day on Tuesday. A little bit of a back area of precipitation on the backside of there with snow showers and flurries, and some blustery conditions developing on Wednesday morning before that system pulls on out. Then a high pressure system builds in for Thursday. We're well beyond the period now. And then the next weather system looks like kind of an Alberta type clipper system with jet stream energy in the northern polar branch of the jet. Let's take a look at the GFS ensemble. And this is the GFS ensemble. What we're looking at is the 3-hourly QPF. You can see that it's a rather busy pattern. This is our best project weather day on Monday, and then actually on Friday, and then on Monday. This is over the weekend, and so on and so forth. Now, total QPF looks like this. You can see this kind of in steps with all the various small weather systems. It's not really tagging on that nor'easter yet, but it probably likely will. Looking at precipitation types, you can see how we're getting into sort of rain mixed with snow, and looking at 850 hectopascal temperatures about the top of Mount Mansfield. Anything below the 0 degree centigrade line, of course, is cold enough for snow, and this is our coldest period here. And you can see that we're kind of going back in sort of a backward spring, going back a little bit more into that late winter, featuring a little bit of snow, etc., etc. Our strongest wind gusts will be pushing through, it looks like, on Friday afternoon, and it could, it's mostly going to be to our west, and again, this is at 850 hectopascal, but then the winds calm down after that point. Weather Prediction Center 7-day total QPF looks like this. We're over 1 inch amounts in blue, about 1.5. So generally we're in the, but the highest rainfalls are along the coast as it looks right now, and it's sort of coming out of the Gulf of Mexico moisture. So things have cooled off across the western half of North America, or western, you might say 2/3. We're in the warm spot, however, with anomalous warmth still working across our region. And above our heads, it's relatively warm. It's already in the low 70s on this Thursday midday in places like Bennington. So pretty warm, and that's part of the reason why we're going to see a little bit of thunderstorm activity. Meteorological output guidance looks like this. We have neutral conditions over the next 1 through 5 days of weighted Moss outlook here. The guidance shows that colder temperatures are creeping in, and indeed, this is 3 days later, barely pushes in, kind of holding its own across the eastern, northeastern, or southeastern Canada, northeastern areas around the coast, but starting to develop a warming trend in some areas along Mexico and out west. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.